Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel. And with me, as always, is my super spectacular co-host, Crystal Morency. Good morning, Crystal. How are you today?
I am doing so good, Lord God of all God Dinos.
That's way too far. That is way too much praise. Like, I think I'm fantastic, but even I'm like, whoa. Ugh.
What does your shirt say?
Oh, it's the one my buddy got me for my birthday. It says in Polish, it's not my circus, not my monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
And underneath it says Polish proverb, and I'm like, that's a proverb for everywhere. There's every... And it's not like Poland is like, that's where you go to the circus, babe. Like, it's not, I don't... It's a great saying. I say it all the time.
Circuses?
What?
Are they like the Circus Soleil of circuses?
No! Not that I know of, at least. They are the Cirque du Soleil of whores, though. I'll tell you that. Poland, Ukraine, that's some grade A quality.
Those are some good pierogies.
Listen, that's, yeah, that's just how it is. I'll tell you that much, because, well, that's the funny thing is, like, you have girls in North America who are like, I'm so hot, but then will dress like shit and be like, I'm still hot, whatever. Whereas in Europe, if you're leaving the house, you're dressed up. Like, that's it. Like, that's the commitment, right? Which I love. It's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, and I appreciate the amount of work that goes into it. It's commendable. But at the same time,
but they're being a woman.
Well, at the same time, nothing builds a body like farm work and like home cooked meals. Cause goddamn, even when I go to my village, like before I got married and after I got divorced, when I went to visit Greece, they were like, so are we looking? And I'm like, yeah, we're not looking for nothing. I'm just on vacation, you know. And it was...
That means that you're looking.
No, but that's the thing is, I really wasn't. Like, I was just like, listen, and the thing is, I always laugh about it, because we've talked about it here, how so often, like in North America, if you're fat, you're ugly. It's a blanket statement, which I think is ridiculous. Whereas everywhere else in the world does not treat things the same way. And I know...
it's a king. It means you eat.
Well, that's, yeah.
You can afford to eat. Woo.
You know, like there's a lot of things that go with that. So I try and tell people, like, yeah, that's just not how the rest of the world works. They don't really care, right? That's why, like, in North America, we have a lot of inequality. There's no question about that. And there are certain groups that are persecuted more than others. That's absolutely fair. But it's like, in the rest of the world, everyone gets a shit deal, like, constantly. Like, it's a blanket shitting on everyone. And that's why I'm like, it's important to get that other experience just to see how things are out of the world, right? Because you don't know.
You get to be grateful for what you have.
Well, and that's just it, right? But I don't know. It's weird what people do. So I've been...
Speaking of weird...
Hi.
Sorry.
No. That's okay.
I read my analytics on my YouTube channel. I never have.
Yeah.
Until you mentioned it. And my viewers, it's like all females. And it's like between the ages of like 20 and 50. Like, apparently I'm very influential to females, which is so weird. You should not be influencing me.
That's a horrible influence. Listen, I was surprised.
It's like all my influences in life were a Pretty Woman, Ginger from Casino, and fucking Baby from Dirty Dancing. But I ended up like the blonde instead, the Penny. So
who was the girl?
Mary Poppins was in there, though. I loved Mary Poppins. That fucking woman was awesome. So I've got that.
Who did you say from Casino?
Ginger.
Okay. Hold on. I don't know. I forget who that was. That's why I wanted to look it up and I...
Sharon Stone.
Oh! Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's not a good role model at all. That's a bad idea. Well, that was... And you know what? That's why when we started this too, when I saw there were more women watching, like significantly more women watching than men, and I'm like... Huh. Yeah. That's interesting.
Oh, apparently, according to my analytics, I only have women. Like, there was no men bar. It was all women. I'm like,
that doesn't make, that's, you know what? Like, that's why, like, I look at the analytics sometimes, and I'm just like, I'm very confused by it, but I feel like there's certain delays. It's weird, but I don't know, whatever.
It's weird. You'll tell me, because apparently I have a whole bunch of female viewers, which I'm very grateful, ladies. Thank you for being cool with me.
True.
And I'm sorry that I always say
women.
that you guys are bitches, and I hate you. I do.
So badly.
I do. I do. But apparently they love me, so it's great.
You know what?
And I'm grateful for it.
My big thing is this. It's like, men or women, I don't, like, the interesting part is, we've only been hated on by one woman, and I was like, that doesn't seem very supportive. And she's like, well, no, I'm not trying to be unsupportive. Like, she tried to backpedal, and I was like, all right, well, whatever, you know? But we've had a lot of support, like verbally, like where they'll comment and say, hey, you guys had a really good episode or whatever, so often that, and not the prostitutes that comment on YouTube, not those ones. It's the real women from other places. And yeah, no, but I was just like, I really appreciate that, you know? It's a big deal. Mm-hmm. Because it's not, like, it's a lot to watch in a day. That was one of the things, like, she watches like 4 a day, this one, but it's more so that, like, just the idea.
It's on my computer right now. Whoops.
It's more so that, like, listen, we released the clips just to make it a little more palatable, a little easier, but the fact is, like, I'm not good at cutting clips. She's disappeared, all I see is hair right now. It's fantastic.
It's all good.
No,
I'm here.
I know. You're giving the other people a show. You're throwing your butt in the air or something. Hey, get that put that the different way. No, you're supposed to point it towards your face.
Again.
To your face.
I know it fell again. I have to fix it.
Sorry, I just realized, no, it's supposed to go on your face. Put it on your face. It's like, it sounds like a horrible porn director. No, on the face. Let's go on the face.
No, that sounds like a great porn director.
You're a pervert. What are you eating? Oh, you're an asshole. I hate you. I'm trying to stay away from candy. It's not going well.
I'm trying to find some candy.
Well, this is the thing is, I found these Werther's Originals with no sugar added, and I was like, oh, that's okay. Number one, I plowed through so many of them, but I'm like, this is not tasty at all either. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, so tell your weirdness.
That's no, I was actually, well, we talked earlier, and I was saying how my feed on my algorithm on YouTube, I think, is completely fucked up right now, because I like, normally I watch a few like scary narration stories, or I'll watch Joe Rogan Experience, or, you know, something else that piques my interest, like a guest or something that I'm like, I want to learn about that. And that's like, it's pretty simple. But now I noticed that I'm getting a lot of videos from one specific person, and not even like new videos, like just old ones just popping up all the time. And so I'm just like, all right, sure. I watched those, and they were pretty good. But then I'm getting Lex Friedman because of that now, which so. I watched the video. So he was just on Rogan, and he was talking about this challenge that he did, where he tweeted and was like, however many retweets this gets, I'll do that many push-ups and pull-ups in 30 days. And he's like, no number's too high. So he was expecting about 5,000 tweets, and he got 20,000. And I'm like, fuck. Now he's a young guy. He's in good shape, right? So I'm like, that's fine. But at the same time, that led me to the videos with, what are you doing right now, you fucking weirdo?
I'm talking to Lex Friedman. It's for him. Shh, stay out of it.
That was the creepiest thing I've ever saw. She's like, da 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 da. It's very inappropriate. Hi. That is not what we're doing. Anyways,
go on.
And then I keep on seeing David Goggins, who is essentially just a very motivated man, and He really puts credit where credit's due. He calls people out on their bullshit. He calls himself out on his bullshit. He has very active lifestyle, great shape guy. Seems like an asshole. I'll tell you that right now. Seems like a real big asshole. But I applaud greatly what he's doing and everything. And I was kind of wondering, like, then this is the problem. I started watching videos about him, like, about getting in shape and stuff, and I was like, damn it. Because I'm like, I like to motivate people's minds. I like to encourage them to think. I like people to expand and learn. But at the same time, I'm a fat fuck. So a lot of times, no, this is true. A lot of times people have a hard time listening to people that aren't pretty, right? And that's why you have, you know, the school system where ugly people teach. We have the internet for pretty people. But yeah, so I'm like, maybe I should start working out and stuff. And then I was just kind of like, then I'm so accountable to everybody. And I'm like, God, like, cause I'm.
Don't tell people, just do it.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. I know it's not gonna work because I've done that a million times, right? But it's like, it's the idea of holding yourself accountable and fighting through your brain farts in the morning and, you know, going out and do that thing. And it's like, it's all good information, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm happy with my body. Like, I want to lose some weight, but I'm like, I'm happy being a big guy. I enjoy it thoroughly. It's, you know, but
you wouldn't be a very good comedian if you weren't, because where the fuck, what are you going to joke about?
That's encouraging. It's that kind of encouragement that really makes me want to stay fat. It's like, hey, if you weren't fat, you'd have nothing. I'm like, well, no, if that's the case, then, you know.
Yeah, but you'd be just some hot guy. Like, you know.
Ew.
The hot guy is never funny.
You look so hot and attractive. Gross. I hate you sometimes.
There's like 2 funny hot guys on the planet. That's not true. There's a lot of them.
There's very few smart hot guys. I like to think that I could be a very intelligent...
intelligence is like my weakness. Like, that's like my, I think, like,
People discover new weaknesses in their lives every day. And this is...
I just discovered that mine is a brain.
Oh, God. But yeah, no, so that's the thing is, like, you realize, and it's funny that you would say that because it's really true, is you see women who want a bad boy when they're young, which you're like, that's just a stupid decision.
Yeah.
It's just a horrible decision.
That used to be my weakness. It still kind of is. Like, you just got out of jail.
Really? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's impossible.
For domestic.
You're laughing, but it's not funny at all. Like, it's really bad, Crystal.
Because it's true.
No, but that's the thing is, like, later on in life, you start to realize what's actually important. Like, people, and this was, I know for myself, like, my ex-wife, we didn't have the same core principles. We had the same religion. We had similar goals, but we didn't have the same principles. And that was what I realized, that those core principles of putting family first, doing what's right over what's, you know, over what you're supposed to do or what's acceptable and stuff like that. You know, it's like those kind of things that are very important to my existence. But, you know, hey, I'm not rich. Okay. It's not. Let's put it this way.
Just means you're not fucked up and weird.
Well, but that's the thing is, I am fucked up and weird, and I find it very funny because I'm like, people are always like, hey, so like, you had a good childhood. Why'd you go into comedy? I'm like, I like making people laugh. I think it's funny. And they're like, oh.
You don't know, that doesn't matter though what kind of childhood you have to get into comedy.
Well,
like, comedy, okay, yeah, there's a lot of fucked up people. Because sometimes they're just fucked up and they need to laugh about it.
There's
an
alarmingly...
also normal people, like that Andrew Schwartz kid, or whatever. Or Guy, because he's like my age, so like Guy. He's... Like, he had a good life. That Mark Norman guy, too. Like, he was rich.
Mark Norman did not.
Didn't he have,
No. He had a very rough childhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
No, well,
I don't know these people. I'm not a stalker. But I'm just saying that, like...
Turn your camera
some
that
of these
way
people,
to my shrine and tell people you're not a stalker. Okay? How about that? Anyways, the point...
I'm not a stalker. rich people.
Never been caught is the key word.
You're
Alleged.
Caught. Your shirt is looking great.
She got a little glassy-eyed. I am worried for my life, people. Victoria. You're such a dickhead. I swear to God. I feel, you know what? Like, see, in my mind, it immediately goes to what would happen. I feel like I'd be walking down a dark alley. She would jump from like a rafter with like a chloroform cloth and just like just try and wrestle me to the ground.
I love those moments in our videos when you're like, when you let out what your imagination sees, and it's always something super fucked up and funny.
Super fucked up.
It's like, how did you get there out of that? I don't know, but I'll go with it. Let's do it.
I feel like, and the thing is, like, this is the problem, is if she attacked me, so she jumps from the sky onto my shoulders, hits me with chloroform until I fall face first, like into like shit probably. She'll drag me, and she'll be dragging me, and people are like, everything okay? You're like, I'm just trying to help my friend. And they'll be like, do you need some help? And she's like, that'd be great. They'll help her load me into the back of a car. And they're like, should we put a seatbelt? And they're like, she's like, no, but just wrap his face. I don't want him to start screaming. And they're like, oh, that's a good idea. This fat guy scream. That happens. Doesn't happen. And she would get away, and they would be like, last time he saw, his friend was taking care of him. She's a great person. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I feel like I would be chained. I'm like,
probably.
Bullshit!
At least he'd be wearing those white boxers with the red polka dots. Like I drew on every picture that I have of you up on the shrine.
Fucking weird. It's like, seriously. It's so weird. Like, honestly, it's so weird. Look, it's weird because, listen, let's put it this way. And I told you about this it's on 8 out of 10 Counts does Countdown. They do this whole thing where the girl who turns the numbers is very, very pretty. She's also a mathematician. She's incredibly smart. And she has like a hard-on for...
Ooh, maybe it could be a lesbian for her.
No, I think she had just had a kid, but she... Okay. Anyways, the point was...
Like vaginally or C-section? Let's see how fucked up this mess is.
Open-faced Arby's sandwich. I'm just saying this. So, and
C-section,
and I
ladies,
believe
all the time.
She's married to a Russian guy, so it might have been obliterated in advance. Like, you never know.
Ooh, C-section, ladies, C-section.
Anyways, the point is that if you put our pictures up on the news and be like, a local is being stalked by this person, this is the stalker. And you're like, no, that's not what happened. She's a stalker. This is it. And they'd be like, that poor innocent girl being stalked by that horrible man. He's so gray and bald.
Meanwhile, Dino's tied up in my basement. I'm tickling him. With a feather. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
She would probably tickle me with her whale spear and just be like,
what's up, Daddy?
See, now it's horrible because now I'm like polka dot draws, candy overflowing from my mouth, like an IV here with like nutrients and another one with God knows what, and I'm just like, this is a great party. I don't know what happened.
Acid. I did have you on an acid trip like where I'm in the CIA.
Was that a wink? Because that was the worst. She's like, you know what I mean? You're like, nobody knows what you mean. Not a person. That's fucking hell. Oh, God. You make me laugh, Crystal. You really do. This is the thing is, like...
I'm trying to smoke a bong, so you make me not laugh.
I really can't guarantee that, because, like, yeah, my imagination just keeps on going.
That's super funny. I know. It's wonderful.
That's the thing is, when people do weird things to me, is I just start imagining scenarios of what I should be prepared for. And randomly, just, I don't know why it is. So, like, if someone...
And probably about 3% of those scenarios are actually even possible.
Oh, if that. Are you kidding? Like, let's put it this way. Some girl I meet for the first time, and she hugs me, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to explain this to my wife? What is this girl's intentions? What's going on? She's you were trying to steal me. Is she trying to drug me?
Did my wife send her?
Did my wife send her? Is this a trick? Am I being bamboozled? I'm a faithful guy. I will not be bamboozled. But I'm also a pervert, so it's tricky. You know? And that's why and that's like, listen, let's put it this way. I meet somebody one time and say, hey, you're pretty funny. Then I get a message going, hey, I'd love to talk. Do you want to meet? And I'm like, with me. Are you sure about that? Trust me. And I just start going, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, so this is an ambush. There's going to be 30 ninjas in the ceiling. I'm going to walk in. She's going to say hi. They're going to attack, possibly from the front, possibly from the back. Definitely swords in my shoulders. I have to be ready to catch to the ground, swing them to defend myself. Trust me, it just goes on and on and on in my head.
I thought he was funny, and I'm not shy.
And I do appreciate that. I do, because most...
And I have to be the one to approach people, though, sometimes, especially men, especially if I just want to have a normal conversation. Because if not, then it just gets weird.
Well...
So, I'd rather be the opening one. Be like, okay,
yeah.
I'm making inappropriate thoughts in my head about you, and maybe we should have a conversation.
I love my wife.
I've bought guys beer. I'm like, I'll buy you a drink. And I didn't even roofie it. So.
Not well, because they fell to sleep later.
No, because their roofie kicked in first.
The most unbelievable laugh. She's like, yeah, they didn't work. Because I think that's one of your best characteristics is where you say things and you're like, wow, she's so intense and believable, and then you can see when she's like, oh, I don't believe this shit. Her whole mood changes, and then she's like, yeah, sorry, and you're like, that's not believable. The first part, totally believable, completely believable. I watched.
That's before I had time to think about what I was saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get it.
I told you I don't think before I talk. So as it's coming out, I'm like, oh, maybe that wasn't great to say out loud.
Yeah, that's. I watched literally 3 of her sets last night, and I was like, yeah, those are. I'm like, I can work those. I can figure that out. I definitely think we should go on stage and do each other's material. I think that would be hilarious.
I think so. I know your sets pretty well.
You would be horrified at stuff I've been writing. I'll tell you that much. It is not.
Oh my God!
It is not appropriate.
My sets are actually becoming more put together and more professional. The ones that I've been writing,
which is great.
Because and it's not so white trashy. Like my usual content.
The funny thing is, she's usually on stage and she's wearing a nice dress or a blouse, and she's like, I'm white trash, and everyone's going, does she not know what white trash means? Because she looks fine.
Well, no, I do like to no,
and
I'm not white trash. I'm not all loud about it and stuff. I'm just the actual meaning that people don't know what white trash is supposed to be. It's
she literally says it every set. And she's like, hi, I'm white trash. How are you? And you're like, what? She's really not at all.
Crystal, and
it's hilarious. I'm just
I'm skinny, covered in tattoos. Blue eyes, freckles. Nice and easy, only knows what color my hair is. I'm guessing it's red because it always comes out that way. But when the roots are starting to come out, it always looks like I have red hair. I dyed my hair black and then all of a sudden it was red 2 months later.
No.
Dyed my hair blonde and now it's turning red again.
It's better. It's better than it going gray, you rat. You know how many? Okay, so I keep on seeing.
That's right. That's right. Trucks were good to me. I'm sorry, but God had to be good to me in some way. And that was his way. He was like, I'm going to aid you.
No, decently.
I did fuck it up a bit. I did fuck it up a bit myself, but he did good.
You gotta stop, because the jokes that are coming into my mind are highly inappropriate. When I say highly inappropriate,
surprise.
No. This makes you look childish. Trust me, this is highly inappropriate in comparison. So let's just stop talking about that, because.
Well, then stop judging me in your head.
No. These are very funny, highly inappropriate. That's why it's just, I can't, the thing is, when I start going pervert humor, then I keep going pervert humor, and it's not really good for the podcast. Yeah.
Or his marriage.
Definitely not there. Victoria's been very nice. She bought me a pumpkin pie, and it's okay. Like it's decent, but
I gotta get on that. My grandpa really wants me to make him some pumpkin pie. Maybe I gotta do that this weekend.
That's not a bad idea.
Sorry, anyways.
No, it's just,
It wasn't my pumpkin pie?
No, oh God, no.
Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah, I was paying you a compliment. That you did a great job and it was delicious. But,
On my pumpkin pie.
you said that way too sexy, I'll be honest with you. And people are assuming that we banged. So that's not what happened. She made me a legitimate pumpkin pie. I ate the pumpkin pie. The pumpkin pie was delicious. I even offered some to my wife. That makes it sound worse. Just not...
Oh, but honey, I promise you it was a delicious pie. You should try it.
See, this is why I'm like, no, stop, because it just starts going, and I'm like, dick balls cunt. I can't just.
What time is it today? Right now?
It's 1:30.
Okay.
I've already had some gummies. Those are slowly kicking in, which are fantastic, and these ones. So
I have to drive my cousin home after we're done this podcast. I'm gonna have a twisted tea first.
better than wine in a can, guys. Better than wine in a can.
Ooh, I did have one upstairs of those.
Why?
I bought one because that's the way I am.
She's.
I'm like, I'm gonna go get me some wine if I can.
I don't know which is worse, the box or the can. I'm not sure. That's a tough one.
No, definitely the can.
Yeah?
Definitely the can. Yeah.
Well, okay, so this is what I'm thinking. This
The box is actually really expensive.
So, well,
Like,
no,
it's
it's
pretty
because you get a
expensive.
ridiculous amount of wine, right? You're paying for like 4
Yeah.
bottles of wine. But my thing is this, you can't really say it's not a box of wine. Like, a box of wine is a box of wine. It doesn't look like a bottle. It doesn't look like this. Whereas
No.
a can of wine could be anything, you know? It could be a canned beverage. Whereas a box of wine is, that's why I'm like, I don't think canned wine is classier than boxed wine. I'm just saying the image it provides, I think, is more or easily misrepresented.
Okay, it is a little bit more classier looking.
Yeah, just on the looks. Neither one's classy.
It tastes gross, so compared to the box stuff. I like the box stuff, like it tastes good.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't like it. That's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I would be so sick in the hospital. Like, I'd have to get my stomach pumped.
I remember.
Like, for sure.
So
I've definitely done it. Like, but nowadays I would have to get my stomach pumped because I can't do it nowadays. Once upon a time, I could box that wine.
that is definitely not a saying, but I like it anyway. My thing is this. So
Me too.
I remember we went to we would go to we used to really enjoy going to the movie theater. We would go to the VIP theaters, which means it has like a little table that comes out too. If you're not as fat as me, you have a table that comes out. It's very nice. For me, I had a table on this side. It didn't move. But the cool thing was that you could order a bottle of wine. You could order food, like full meals, burgers.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's great. Well, sometime in like 2025, we'll go. You'll have a great time. It'll be exciting.
If all movie theaters exist anymore.
If.
Other than my future drive-in one.
Well, hey, that would be awesome.
Just wait. I'm like, you look at that.
The point is, but the funny thing is, like, I remember going with one guy and his wife was like, I feel like beer. He looked at me and I'm like, I'm getting wine. He's like, I want to get wine too. So me and him, so his wife ordered a pitcher of beer for herself. Victoria ordered a ginger beer, which is non-alcoholic, and I'm like, loser, because, you know, she's a loser. But then me and this guy, we each ordered 2 bottles of wine and proceeded. I don't even remember what we watched, but we both got fucking shit-faced. I'll tell you that much. We were shit.
It was like a great time.
But that's the thing is, those seats actually, there's 2 kinds. There's one that the top leans back a little bit. That's fine. Because it's set up in like love seats, okay? So you have, so it's really cool. So him and his wife were in one. And me, it's great. But they have other ones that are a full recliner, where it actually, like, it leans all the way back, and you can put your feet up and everything. And that's,
dirty stuff happen at these theaters?
I'm
'Cause that sounds like a great possibility for stuff. I've watched porn that has that kind of stuff. Do you think that like that?
I'm sure people have attempted, but the fact is, there's not like, it's not a very dark. Like, this is the thing: is in a theater, you want to go all the way to the back where it's very dark, so you can get away with whipping your dick out and getting a blowy. Okay, that's just facts. But that's the thing: is these seats. There's not many seats in a theater, so they're actually quite close up to the screen. So there's a lot of light usually in the movie. So it doesn't really provide that. I'm sure somebody's at least gotten a handy. For sure, an over the pants handy, guaranteed. Probably a jizz out. Maybe not dick out, but jizz came out of his pants.
Somebody's gotten finger banged.
Oh, listen, people get finger banged in the drive-thru, okay? There are lights and cameras. No, in the movie theater, there's tons of finger banging, okay? All I'm saying is, be courteous, put a towel underneath, don't be an animal. That's, be gentle. And trim your nails, guys. Come on. Let's not be animals. That's not nice. And you don't go in nail side first, you go in...
I just tried the worst chocolate ever. It's disgusting, Dino.
You probably deserve it. What kind of chocolate? I can't see that. You guys showed me. I can't. Yeah.
It says Markipan Kenyer.
Who?
It's not from here.
Yeah, that's... Listen.
It's this kind of chocolate. It's fancy chocolate.
Yeah, it's not fancy. It's probably just...
See,
looks
people?
fancy. It's for
It tastes
douchebags.
like butt. That's what it is. I don't know. It tastes like wax. It doesn't even look very good. I thought it was like going to be like caramelky and yummy. Cause look at
Someone did... yeah, but it looks like it might have like... It looks like fruitcake. Like outside you're like, ooh, cake. And they're like, oh, it's fruitcake. You're like, ugh, why?
I don't mind fruitcake. Sometimes if that's what you
Listen,
got, eat it.
you put up with a lot of horrible things, so I don't really trust your judgment on what's okay. Let's put it that way, okay? Someone said they wanted us to do an hour on eating chocolate. And I was like, we could do that.
We could do that.
Yeah.
We could totally do that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I wish we could. Oh, I have cooking equipment for outside. I have camping cooking gear. We should totally do a cooking one.
Yeah, I'm giving it.
Outside. Before it gets too cold. We can make pumpkin stuff. We can make apple stuff outside. Oh my god. We can make apple crisp outside or something.
I feel like I just got roped into a horrible experience, and now I can't get out. That's what...
We should do a Halloween special. Oh my god, for our 100th episode, Dino.
Okay.
Holy shit. I just got an idea. Okay.
Well, hold on.
Wow.
Don't tell them. We're going to talk about it later, you asshole. That way we have a plan and a surprise. Not surprising anymore, because you talk too much. Fucking chatty Cathy. Snitches get stitches, lady. Stitches get stitches. I miss that. The idea that snitches get stitches.
I miss the fact that people don't get punched the fuck out for being dumb.
Also, you know
Or
what?
mean.
See, this is the problem.
They get called out
I think
on
they
their
were
shit.
good lessons that got abused, and now we had to. It's like, listen, we can't have nice things because of you.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck bitch.
priests were supposed to be the center of a community. Then they started diddling children. Well, you ruined it now, guy. You can't do that. You're an asshole.
Way to go.
Thanks a lot. You ruined it for everybody.
Now nobody can touch children.
That was really not where I was going, but I loved it. It was fucking hilarious. That was really great. I'm a little jealous I didn't think about it myself, because that was horrible. That was quite... That's so bad. It's so bad. I wish I thought it up. At the same time, I'm glad you did instead of me, because I'd be canceled instantly. These people don't care that I'm Greek. They're like, nah, you look white. You're fucked. Fuck you, white boy. That's what happens.
Well, I'm probably gonna get canceled, but fuck about the cancel.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, I wouldn't cancel you. I'd be like, I think it was fucking hilarious. Obviously.
Yeah. Like, come on, people.
It was a very funny joke when you think about it, but...
I'm allowed to make those kind of
highly
jokes. It's like
inappropriate.
as if I'm black. No, I'm allowed to.
Definitely, let's not do that. Let's definitely not say that. 'Cause that's just...
Okay, but I'm allowed
No,
to
just
because
stop.
it's like
Just
as
stop.
if I'm a different religion or something.
No.
I'm allowed to because I'm that person.
You know when you're like, hey, stop the train, we're all gonna die. And they're like, go faster. Don't go faster. It's like instructing a cat. Don't drop
See
that.
what we can get this bitch up to.
It's like, don't throw that off the counter. And she's like, this thing right here? What about this one? Is this important to you? And you're like, stop knocking shit down. And she's like, brrsh.
Yep.
Worst thing wrangling cats. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I've been thinking about lately. It's been a little bit, I don't know if I should start working out. This is the thing, is I get scarier before I get prettier. This is the problem. Because I start to get kind of just, and it's not, it gets kind of intimidating. And I know
you're like
I'm
a
not
woman's
known for my
haircut.
being intimidating.
You're the woman's haircut. So women, we have this thing, okay? So we cut our hair short. And then we go through this process where I'm at this process right now, where it's not quite long to be pretty. It's at like that. It's not short enough to be cute, and it's not long enough to be beautiful. So it's at that like in between stage, which is right about like it's just above like your shoulders, like right around your shoulders, and it sucks. So you're at that stage. You're that when you're working out. Like you're getting there because you're trying to grow your hair out pretty.
I'll be honest, at first I was going to call it bullshit, and then I was like, you know what, that actually works. Good for you. That was nice. Interesting. Thank you for adding perspective.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's like when a girl's trying to grow her hair out, though, because she cuts her hair short.
You got a compliment and you said your thing.
Like
Shut your fucking mouth.
It's cute for a week, and then you're like, fuck, now it's at this awkward stage.
You know what? I've seen a few girls pull off short hair very well.
Well,
but
yeah, you can sometimes.
I've seen women not pull off short hair a lot more times. And
women shouldn't have short hair with ladies.
No.
It's long hair.
Listen,
men have the short hair. Women have the long hair. Don't fuck it up.
I don't think so. No, but like you have to
wear dresses.
You have to figure out what looks good for you, and I get it. I'm hip to the rhythm, right? I've seen chicks with sorry, it's kind of demeaning. I don't mean to say chicks, but broads. What I meant to say was broads. Broads.
Yeah, that's way better.
No, but
even I don't like being called the broad, Dino. And I'm like, I'm a chick.
You're almost a dude, okay? Let's be honest. So there's like, she's got a bigger dick than that guy. I don't know what's going on. And she's like, yeah, it's in my purse. So let's not be able to turn that off again. Let's stay. I told Victoria that story, by the way. I said how in my mind it was like all of a sudden you were trying to turn it off, it fumbles out of your hands, it drops to the ground, and then continues to like walk its way into everyone so everyone can see it, and you're like, ah! And Victoria's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, a lot. It's a lot. It just all starts happening, and I'm like,
It wasn't a bad enough story to begin with.
It was so bad. But yeah.
It was bad. It was just, I don't even want to talk about it. It was bad.
This is...
I think maybe that's why I'm so sensitive, because, like, I'm so, like, lonely again. Because, like, it's been a while again.
Yeah.
Like, not, like, a long time, but it's been a while again.
It was, like, in June. It's been too long.
It's been, like, since June, right? Again, since the last time, so, like...
Yeah.
And I don't even, like, sexually talk to anybody. Like, I don't flirt with anybody or anything.
Yeah.
Like, my exes a little bit, but it's just because it's familiar. But I haven't gone and done it, and the only reason why I talk to them is because it's been so long. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm horny enough to have this conversation, but not horny enough to go through with it.
Yeah, that's still a risky place, though. It's because men are very sneaky, and we'll be like...
I know. I have to watch myself. Thank God that it's like an hour and a half away drive.
Yeah,
so I
you're
have some
fine.
time to think about it.
That's more than long enough to think about it.
Yeah.
I would expect a phone call. Be like, I'm driving somewhere. I don't think I should be doing this. Talk me out of it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. I have done that.
Good to know.
I have done that for quite a few people, men and women. Various occasions where they're like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you need to get back in your car and go home.
If anybody's driving to my house with, like, flowers and they're like, I'm going to romance Crystal so that way she has sex with me, you do not stop them. Telling you, you give them my address and you say, you get her, son. Make sure they have like a boombox outside, make it romantic.
Listen, I believe we talked about this the other day. I was like, hey, I want to help out, but I can't send some man to fuck you. That's not romantic or appropriate, really. So, and now she's like, and probably be okay with it. No, okay? Stop it.
Like, does he got his own place? Or, do we get to have car sex?
It's so bad. You know what? The thing is,
I love car sex.
I get it. I do. I know. I totally do. It's like See, I've never had. Yeah. No, I get it.
Have you ever had car sex?
Yeah, I have. I'm awesome. Come on. I was a raging young man at one point. You know?
It wasn't. He married the first woman. Well, he married before he had sex. Yeah. So not even the first woman that he had sex with.
Also true. That was funny. You know what? There were people that I knew that didn't believe me, and I was like, "Why not?"
I totally believe it.
And they're like,
I totally believe
well, the funny thing is, they were like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, you save yourself marriage." I'm like, do I look like I'm some sort of player that I'm like I got all these women around me all the time? Like, what do you think? Like,
all the game. Well, you could be because I'm sure like you're not like troubling for women's attention.
Well, you know what? I've never fueled that side of my personality where it's just sex crazed and driven by my own cock. I just don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy for anyone in general, because like those guys who are like, chicks, man, chicks, we're the chicks, we're gonna fight chicks, and I'm like, just stop.
Okay.
That's the other thing is I know a couple guys that ended up being gay, and you're like, guy. Yeah. Why can't? And that's why it's people are like, what? And they would say, like, when I was young, they'd be like, whoa, what are you, a homo? You don't like chicks? And I'm like, no, I love chicks. I love the pussy. What I'm saying is, I'm saving myself from marriage. So this is just all you're gonna do is get me to go home and fucking want to kill myself. That's not healthy, right? Because and that's the thing is, there's a very specific person who's attracted to this luxurious picture, and it's and that's why like when the fact that you just to tie it back is like the fact that you came up to me freaked me the fuck out, because I was like, yeah, all right. And the thing is, you were so like wholesome about it. She was like, yeah, I just want to pick your brain, just if I'm doing the right thing. And I was just like,
oh yeah,
okay. I'm like, are you going to the show? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, same here. So just do that. We'll talk beforehand. And she was like, okay. And she was there, and this is the thing is, then she was there before I was, and I'm like, this is definitely a setup of some sort. There's camera, something is going on, and then I was like,
I'm just punctual.
No, this is the thing is, people aren't like, I was hanging out with almost exclusively comedians for too long, right? I would occasionally be with my friends, and otherwise comedians. Comedians are never on time. They're fucking idiots sometimes. And then they're like, when they want to have a conversation, it ends up just being about them talking shit to you. And you're like, this is useless. I'm not going to have fun with it. And that's why I'm like, I can't. It was just very, very perplexing. And that's the thing is, because there's a lot of female comics that I know that I really think are great. But only like 2 or 3 talk to me. And even then, they're like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, I'm good. How are you? They're good. They're like, you don't want to talk to me, do you? And I'm just like, I just don't really know what to talk about with you. I don't really know you very well. And they're like, oh, well, maybe we'll have a beer sometime. I'm like, I got nothing to do. Sure, whatever, And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm not that kind of guy. Like, I'm not like.
I'm that person though. I'll go up to like a cat, and cats hate people. Like, and I'll pick them up, and I'm like, you're so fluffy, and I want to pat you, and like I just make things love me. Like my cousin's kid. My cousin's kid's a little bit of a, she's 2.
Oh yeah.
2.5. So
a piece of shit. That's what she is. She's probably a piece of shit. Like, let's be honest.
So I pick her up, because she's always like, stop it, and no. So I just pick her up and make her love me. And I'm like, oh, who's so cute? Oh, who's this? Is he just gonna fuck off with your bad self? You smile. Love somebody, for fuck's sakes.
I have never been happier to weigh 4 times what Crystal weighs. That's not. She's like, oh,
no, don't you worry.
You're not picking me up.
That don't mean shit, because we already talked about it. I'll lift you over my back, but with you, no, I just walk up. Hello, Dino. Although Dino knows that I'm not really a hugger like that. Like,
Thank fucking Christ.
If I'm emotional, I'm not a hugger.
Great.
Like, I'm like, don't touch me.
That is even better.
If I'm emotional, don't touch me. Especially like when people are like, oh, you're crying, do you need a hug? I'm like, I will probably stab you in the neck if I hug you, so that's not.
I'll put money that I'm going to make that mistake. I'll be like, no, you need a hug. And you're like, no, don't touch me. And I'll be like, and then you'll have nowhere to go.
See, that's cool though. That's different because then I feel really awkward and I don't know what to do in this situation, but I do enjoy it.
I'll tell you,
but
you wouldn't be the first lady that was held in my arms that didn't feel awkward and not sure what to do in that situation. I'll tell you what it is. You could just ask to be let go. We're not animals, okay, people? And I'm not a rapey guy. I'm more scary, like, for your life, not scary for the sex. That's my... Yeah. People think people see me and they go, that guy's raped some women. No, that's not what they say. They go, that guy's killed somebody. And I'm like, that's true. I have definitely murdered before. So, and I'm okay with that. That's a reasonable... I like to fear... My fear is not sexist. I have gone to a gay bar once, and I'm telling you, a couple of those guys were scared. But I'm not that kind of guy either.
See, now you know what it's like. Because you're a bear.
It was...
So they'd be like...
No. I appear that I could be a bear. I am not a bear, because I am a human, nor am I a large, overly hairy gay man. So let's be very clear with that. I could pass for a bear. I could also, when I'm all gussied up, I could pass for a gay man, because I'm well put together. Okay? Because I am one out of 4 boys my parents had that can see color without a problem. The rest of them are colorblind. Fuck those losers.
Oh.
I would make fun of them constantly. Well, this is the thing. I was the youngest, and I would, you know those things, if you're colorblind, it's got like a 2 and a 9, and they're all made of circles, and yeah, okay, so. Anyways, there's a little diagram. If you look up colorblind tests, essentially it's a circle made of little various sized circles, and the circles are green. But the numbers 2 and 7 or 2 and 9 are written in red circles. And the two colors...
I've never seen such tests.
Yeah, so the two colors being close together, it causes they have issues with differentiating what the colors are. So they can't see it. And I fucking love it. Because it's hilarious. Because they have no power over it, and it makes me better than them. It was the same thing when I grew taller than all of them. I felt great. And I was like, ha ha ha, you can't beat me in this. Same thing. It was great. But
I really don't think I'm colorblind, but no, I can definitely see everything.
yeah, well, that's useful.
I'm like, I can definitely see it all. I don't know how people can't. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, so they'll just see green. They'll only see the green. They won't see only one color. Yeah. But
I can always see like the hidden pictures and stuff, or what's out of place in all those pictures. Like I don't get how people don't get it. I'm like, look, clearly that's not there. Like, or clearly there's no.
Yeah, I'm not good with optical illusions.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not good at not trying to figure them out. Like, so if I see something off, I'll just go and touch it and be like, "Hey, go touch it!" And I'm like, trickster. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, I'm not. I don't like. See, I don't like not being able to see, and that was one of the things I remember. Okay, so this is gonna be weird. So I was being led around by someone I had only just met and had a blindfold on. Now, I know how that sounds.
And you said our past didn't cross before.
So, at one point, it was a man. It was a man who led me around. Okay, so there's nothing to do with anything. But anyways, he's like, okay. He's like, you have to wear this blindfold, and I'm like, okay. He goes, and then I'm gonna lead you around. I'm like, that's not gonna go well. He goes, why? I'm like, I don't know you very well, and I don't trust anything. So, sorry. And he goes, well, okay. And actually, the guy was actually very helpful in that he's like, hey, we're gonna take 5 steps forward. It's about this distance, and I have a very good spatial awareness. So he's like, it's 6 feet away. I knew it was like. And he was someone like that too, so I was like, it was great. But that's the thing is, like, when people are like, when I can't see things, so you put me in a dark room, I'll stop and wait until my sight adjusts, and then I will fucking hide in the shadows. I will fuck you up. Like, we went to Niagara Falls, I I believe it may be have been Frankenstein's castle or Dracula's castle, not Dracula's mansion. Maybe it was on Clifton Hill. So there were three levels of scariness. So there's low level 1, then there's scary, and then there's you're gonna shit your pants. And I go, you're gonna shit your pants means people are gonna touch us, right? He goes, yeah. I go, we can't do that. And he goes, why not? I go, because I'll touch back. And he goes, that's a good reason. And I go, perfect. And the funny thing is that
I'm not allowed to go in that one either.
Because if you touch me, I have surprisingly fast arms for a fat man. And this is, if you come close and touch me, I will catch your hand, and I very likely will break it. Like that's kind of it. I don't like it. So I said, okay, what about they come close but no touching? He goes, no touching. You want the middle one? And then there was another couple there who was like, if you guys go through it and we can go with you, we'll come too. And I'm like, okay. Victoria was behind me. She had hooked onto my belt loops. Okay. Then someone was holding onto her, and then the couple was behind our other friend. And then one guy came up, and he was like, his face was like right beside mine, and was like, why are you here? And I'm like, and I had just eaten something garlicky, and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, no, you can't fuck. I'm like, this is the whole idea. Like, you see, we talked about Harry Potter before. I'm like, if the Dementor came to me, I'd grab it by its throat and just, I'm like, let's do this, bitch. You think you can take my soul? I lost it in divorce, baby. Let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that idea where it's like, oh, someone might touch you. Great, touch them back. That's how that works. That's why I'm like, don't.
I'd be like, oh, I thought we were playing.
See, and now it puts into perspective me walking down a dark alley, Crystal jumping and landing with a chloroform. Totally believable now, isn't it? It's totally believable.
I thought we were playing.
See, this is the thing. But if I come around a corner and chloroformed her, do you know what would happen? Literally, there would instantly, I would say, within less than 30 seconds, helicopter, spotlight, 100%. 100%.
Not nowadays. There's too much shit going on. Nobody's got time for that.
Hey, with this face, trust me, they're like, we got the guy. The guy who's killed everyone, we got him. That's what they think. That's what people think. And I'm like, that's some bullshit. That's some sizest bullshit.
It's only because you're a middle-aged white guy. Everybody knows that all the serial killers are always middle-aged white guys.
I just turned 40. That may be my middle age, but that's not middle-aged, okay? Middle-aged is 50, so you go eat shit, okay? I may not live past 80. That's
really, because I considered myself middle-aged, but I'm lucky that I made it this far. Really,
you're
I'm
over age.
I'm like senior citizen.
Listen, you're not middle-aged, but you're over the age you should have died. So...
Yeah, right? Definitely. By like 10 years.
So, like with that platform, you're like, you know what?
Because I thought I was going down with Hendrix and like, you know, all the true rock gods, you know.
Hey, man.
Kurt Cobain.
Oh, this has been a fun episode. We're out of time, Crystal.
All the fun stops. I had to go drive my cousin.
All right, so morning motivation. What are we going to motivate people?
Motivate.
Oh,
please motivate me.
Sure. That's so hot. It's definitely so hot.
Is it?
No, not at all. It's like the furthest thing from hot. It's like,
and then I went.
Even better. She tried to lick her own burp. You're like, that's class. That's where class supersedes whatever we have.
I've got all the class right here, baby.
Fuck. So, I'll be honest with you. We've gotten news that so we're about a week behind for episodes. We're about weeks 10 episodes-ish around there. But right now, they're saying that their numbers are going up. They haven't mentioned anything about the mortality rates for it, which they've stated.
But the testing is going to be stopping.
Well,
now you have to have, like, that just got announced yesterday.
Yeah, but you can, if you're asymptomatic, which is ridiculous, you can get tested at Shoppers Drug Mart.
How do you know?
That's why there's a lot of new things that are happening right now, and they're saying there's potentially going to be another lockdown. They're making adjustments to CERB, whatever CERB is going to be after this, so who knows. But ultimately, one of the things that I think is we talked about a little while ago was the idea that I had this conversation with somebody today.
I wish I could get served. I'm so pissed. Sorry.
So, well, this is the thing, is that I was talking with somebody online, and they asked me how I was. I said, honestly, I'm just trying not to blow my brains out. That's really what it is. Like, I'm just trying to be active enough so I'm not bored, but not be so active that I want to do things. Okay? No, and that's actually what it is.
You're fine, honey.
No.
It's gonna be okay.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but this is what I said to him, was that it was to Bill, who he was the one who got me the spot at that campground. That's why. I still keep in touch with him. He's great. He's a funny guy. He's a great guy. Very friendly. But I said to him, I go, like, I've just stopped having expectations for what's coming and what's happening. I don't have any expectations. I just focus on what I can do. What can I do? That's what I'm just going to do. Because, like, we build up a lot of expectations, and I think this is where I'm going with this, is we build up a lot of expectations for things in our minds. I had a friend who had braces, and he kept on saying, oh, I have to have them for another 2 months. Oh, it's just another 2 months. And every time we see him, it would always be 2 months. And I said, why do you do that? He says, because that's what I told the doctor to tell me, because I can live 2 months at a time. But if you tell me, like, oh, it's going to be like 9 years or something, it's going to drive you crazy. Now, the funny thing was, he came to visit me at work when he got them off, not telling me that he got them off, and then he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, why are you looking at me so like an idiot? And he's like, anything different? I'm like, yeah, you're smiling like a dork. He's like, maybe my teeth? I'm like, oh, you got your braces off, good stuff. And he was like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, dude, nobody really cared. We made fun of you because it was funny, not because it was a thing. But you have these expectations in your mind that, like, look, for me, I'm fat. But I have the confidence of Fabio when I walk into a place and I'm just like, I'm beautiful the way I am. Eat shit and die if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I try my best to eliminate my expectations to be riding on other people's information or comments or opinion even. Because, and it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard. It's an everyday, forever type thing. And it sucks. But it kind of gives you that ability to go, oh, well, you know, fuck you. Fuck you, I don't give a shit. And that's I think, was like those expectations we have, we kind of throw them on our own shoulders, and that's fucking stupid, right? Because what's the fucking point, right? When we burden ourselves with something that's really, most often not accurate, you know, and on top of that, it's just stupid. But I don't know. I think that's all I have to say. It wasn't really motivating. It was more just kind of me bitching about stupidity. But what can I say? I'm not always perfect. But
I made this guy's tie into a penis.
And that's how we end Morning Motivation. Guys, I think that's all I got to say. Krista, where can everyone find you? You fucking asshole.
Right here on Morning Motivational Rant, of course. And on Simply Me on YouTube. And on Crystal Morency on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you, Lord Dino.
I'm going to dig myself a grave. That's where you're going to find me right now. Guys, Dino the Genetic Marvel. I'm on YouTube. I'm on the Facebooks. I'm on the Instagrams. I have the tweeter, but I'm like an ostrich for birds. I'm very big. I don't think I'd make a tweet. I'm very big a twat, and I don't think that's appropriate. But Morning Motivational Rant, we have it on the YouTube. We're loading up clips every day. We're doing all sorts of awesome things. It's very exciting. We have Instagram, we have announcements. Facebook, we have clips. I put it on Reddit. I don't even know what happened there. I'm going to try it again. See what happens. Who knows? But as well,
Reddit is like serial killer porn, right?
I don't know. Maybe. I should fit in. I should fit in perfectly. Anyways, so, but audio side, we are on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Stay motivated, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.